Russia. Just saying the name makes you think of endless snowy places and a winter that feels alive. It's a country that's super big. It has 11 time zones, huge forests, frozen rivers, and people who are shaped by the cold. It feels like fairy tales come to life here, with churches that have round, onion-shaped tops covered in snow, making everything look magical. My trip was about looking past what you hear in the news. I wanted to feel the cold wind and meet the people who live here. What's it like to live where it's always cold? How does that cold change people's lives and their culture? Russia is so huge, it's hard to imagine. When you fly over it, you see a white blanket with dark pine trees sticking out. Every small town and big city has a story, and they're all connected by how winter holds them tight. Nature here is very powerful and you have to respect it. It changes everything, from the buildings to how people live every day. My adventure wasn't just about traveling across a country, but about understanding what Russia truly is. It's a place with a long history, amazing art, and a spirit that just keeps going. I wanted to find the human stories that are woven into this cold, beautiful picture, to listen to people, to see how they find joy, and stay warm in the middle of such a big cold. This was my goal, to explore the true heart of Russia, which is as deep and beautiful as its longest winter night. The cold is just the beginning. The real story is the warmth you find under the frost. My trip started in Moscow, a city that wears winter with style and pride. Red Square turns into a snowy wonderland, and St. Basil's Cathedral glows like something from a storybook. People in Moscow walk quickly, wrapped in thick coats and fur hats, but even with all those layers, the city is full of life. The gum department store sparkles with pretty lights, a warm place to hide from the cold. Cafes are busy with people drinking hot tea, their faces pink from the chill. Moscow doesn't just sleep through winter, it changes, celebrating winter at every turn. The Moscow metro is like a palace underground, with fancy lights and colorful pictures, a daily wonder for millions. Here you see all kinds of people, from all walks of life, moving together under the snow. In the evenings, parks like Gorky Park become ice skating rinks, with laughter echoing under the stars. Families and friends skate, their breath making clouds in the air, finding happiness in the cold. Moscow doesn't just put up with winter, it loves it, finding beauty in the frost and warmth in being together. This was my first taste of the Russian spirit, strong, lively, and full of life. The city's energy is catching even on the coldest days. Moscow taught me that winter isn't a problem, but a reason to celebrate. Here, the cold brings people closer. Leaving Moscow, I got on the Trans-Siberian Railway, a famous trip across the middle of Russia. As the train moved east, cities disappeared into the endless plains of Siberia, a white canvas with birch trees scattered around. Siberia is unbelievably huge, vast, cold, and eerily empty. For days, the view was a mesmerizing picture of snow and faraway villages. Wooden houses stood strong with smoke curling from their chimneys, hinting at lives lived far away from others. I wondered about the people here, how they manage, how they find connections in such a remote place. Life on the train found its own rhythm, the clatter of the wheels always there. Train compartments became like small communities, soldiers, families, travelers sharing stories and laughs. The train was like a small version of Russia, a moving link across the frozen land. Siberia's beauty is quiet, long shadows on the snow, a sky full of bright stars, and a silence that feels very old. The trip was a time to think about patience and being alone. It taught me about quiet strength and how tough you need to be to live here. The plains got me ready for the even deeper cold ahead. In Siberia, you learn to listen to what the land quietly tells you, and to find meaning in how big everything is. Lake Baikal, the oldest, deepest, and in winter, completely magical. The lake freezes into a huge clear mirror, stretching to the edge of the world under a pale sky. The ice is so clear, you can see deep into the water, with rocks and fish frozen in time. Walking on Baikal feels unreal. The ice groans and cracks, sounding like the lake's heartbeat. Locals call it the music of Baikal, a living, breathing force even in winter. People here are very connected to the lake. Their lives are shaped by its moods and seasons. Fishermen drive onto the ice, drilling holes and waiting in the biting wind, following old traditions passed down for many years. They talk about Baikal with respect, as if it's a living thing, generous, dangerous, and sacred. Their strength is amazing, showing how they live in harmony with nature's extreme conditions. One sunset, the ice and sky glowed with color, and the silence felt spiritual. Baikal is more than just a wonder. It's the heart of Siberia, wild and untamed. The memory of its frozen beauty stays with you. Here you feel the ancient power of the land and the strong spirit of its people. Baikal is a place you never truly leave. It becomes a part of you. To understand Russia, you need to look past the cold and into the hearts of its people. The Russian soul, dusha, is complex. It can be sad, passionate, strong, and giving. Harsh winters have created a culture where people come together and share. I was amazed by how warm and welcoming everyone was everywhere I went. Strangers invited me in, shared food and stories, and laughter helped us connect even with language differences. In a Siberian village, a woman welcomed me with hot borscht and fresh bread. A simple act, but it meant so much. This warmth is about surviving emotionally. When the world outside is frozen, people create their own warmth inside. Homes are safe places, filled with music, talking, and the smells of cooking. Friendships are deep, conversations are honest, and feelings are shared openly. Russians value connecting from the heart, which is a beautiful contrast to the cold outside. Their strength is famous. They face challenges with humor, practical thinking, and kindness. The cold shapes daily life, but it's the warmth of the human heart that truly defines Russia. I experienced this kindness again and again. The Russian soul is a puzzle. It's made strong by ice, but always warmed by heart. It's a lesson I'll never forget. In Russia, food means comfort, warmth, and connection, especially in winter. Hearty dishes like borscht and pelmeni are common, warming you from the inside out. Making pelmeni is a family thing, folding dumplings together in kitchens filled with laughter. Markets are full of pickled vegetables and dark rye bread, things you need to get through the long cold. Tea is a daily habit, served strong from a samovar, bringing people together for hours of talking. Around the table, stories are shared and friendships grow stronger. Russian food is a delicious way to fight off the cold. The winter table is a place of plenty and generosity. Here, you taste the true spirit of the country. Russians find joy even in the coldest winter. New Year's is the biggest celebration. Homes are decorated, big meals are made, and families gather with hope. Ded Moroz, Grandfather Frost, and the Snow Maiden bring gifts, adding fairy tale magic to the parties. Maslenitsa, or Pancake Week, marks the end of winter with pancakes, music, and games. Burning a straw doll of Lady Maslenitsa shows that spring is coming back. These traditions turn winter into a time of light and being together. Russians change the cold into a chance for joy. Their spirit brightens up the snow. Winter here is a celebration, not a hard time. The stories I heard in Russia were quiet but powerful. In Siberia, Ivan showed me his snow-covered garden and talked about past winters with pride, not complaining. He taught me that happiness here is simple. Work hard, love your family, and keep the samovar hot for guests. In Irkutsk, I met the walruses, women who swim in icy rivers every morning, overcoming fear and celebrating friendship. Their laughter in the freezing water was a lesson in being strong and joyful. These stories show a people made stronger, not defined by the cold. They find beauty in simple things, community when they are far apart, and warmth in connecting with others. Being strong here isn't about just getting through things grimly, but about humor, passion, and enjoying life's small, happy moments. From Moscow to Baikal, this spirit is everywhere. It's the heartbeat of Russia, and it stays with you long after you leave. My journey across Russia was a lesson in what it means to be human. I found warmth in every smile, every shared cup of tea, every kind act. Russia is more than just beautiful places. It's a country of amazing people. To truly know it, you must meet its people, hear their stories, and feel how strong they are. The spirit of Russia is huge and deep, like Lake Baikal. I invite you to discover this land for yourself. Feel the crisp air, see the fairy tale scenes, taste the hearty food. Most of all, meet the people who will show you the warmth that grows in the cold. Stay with me as I share more stories from this trip I'll never forget. Let's keep going on this journey together, exploring the wonderful, cold, and incredibly warm heart of Russia.